And here is a game no one has ever heard of. It's still beat 'em up, but you play a park ranger. There's actually 4 characters, but there's only 2 models in the game, so they're just palette swaps of each other. At first, I did not think, since they can all do the same moves, that they had any difference. But this guy is the Burn. His name's Burn. He's by far the best one, in my opinion, just because of his ability to use weapons. And yes, for some reason their Ranger Shack comes loaded with 4 rocket launchers. I imagine because it's supposed to be 4 players, so they can all grab a separate rocket launcher, but they keep the game the same for just 1 player. When I first tried to play this, I picked the yellow version of Burn, the palette swap, and because he had a lot more attack power, but he died so quick, he was useless. Burn is just quicker with weapons. So like that sword, so useless with anyone else. But you'll see soon that like the weapon I need to get is the whip, and only the whip. This game is basically get the whip and don't drop it. So that spin kick I did before I picked up this sword, that's the defensive action for most beat 'em up games, like attack and jump at the same time. It's really difficult to actually do in here. You'll see me jump kick a lot randomly by trying to do it, like right there. There's a couple different actions you can do by hitting A and B at the same time, and they're defensive attacks that'll knock enemies away from you. That's really helpful later against a boss that I will not have the whip for. Problem being, it's really difficult. You can attack lightning fast on here, but enemies have so much health. That grab when they're down, it's pretty impossible to make sure you can do that. I have no idea how to do that on purpose. The only move I know how to do on purpose is like a shoulder charge, which I'll do that shoulder charge on the same boss that the defensive actions are good on. I'll just constantly shoulder charge him, so you'll see that. And this is the reason the whip is so good. It hits in front really far and a little bit behind. And Burn is great at using this. The other characters can do it too, but they're slower with it, so they have a higher chance of getting hit and dropping it. So these are the 3 fodder enemies you'll get all the time. They're here all the time. The bosses don't look much better. Except for the final boss, that's a fun fight. And I love that they incorporate the animals actually into the game itself. They come in and fight. So like I saved that falcon, he's gonna dive bomb people. If I didn't, kill them too quickly. See? Right there. And right here, it should be after I fight these guys. Here's where the first boss fight will happen. Yep. He really is wearing dynamite on like a bandolier, and he will explode. But it won't kill him. He'll just do it to hurt. They call him Nitro Man. He's got a pretty, predictable movement pattern, but I kind of mess up fighting him. He's gonna blow up and it kills me. So I've added a little quarter counter into the corner here so you can see how many times I die. The reason I've done that is because this game is ridiculous. So that quarter counter will launch up later. This little train stage doesn't have a boss. Not all the stages have bosses. Some of them are just smack down enemies for a little bit. Like, I barely even have to move. That's why this game is get the whip and do not let it go. It's too good. Like, not even like the handguns, the machine gun or anything, especially not the rocket launcher. None of them compare. I don't really know how to dodge those. I think you jump over them, but I forgot they were there. This is you can do this extremely easily without the whip, but hey, with it, it just makes it so much quicker. And I'm really lucky I picked up that whip before I jumped off the train. I wouldn't have got it back otherwise. And you need this whip for the boss here. If I didn't keep my whip, I would have had to try to get one from one of those guys. Occasionally, like, the enemies in this, they attack so quickly that they can just get you caught in little traps, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to start mashing A and B to try to get out.
What do you jerks think you're doing?
Save my little gazelle friend. And then he'll come back. See, it looks overwhelming, but Stampede clears out the enemies right there. Every time you save an animal, they'll come back and help you later, which is really helpful later. When you save the elephant. I'm not sure what these things are, but I think they're like cheetah cubs. I'm not even sure if I've seen one of the enemies swing a whip. It's usually just been me swinging. Doing like a jump swing with the whip, it just makes it attack really quick once, but I hardly ever do that. There's no real need for it, and you usually don't have any time. The first time I played this, I didn't have the whip because I couldn't hold on to it, because the game is surprisingly difficult even with all just mostly fodder enemies. In parts like this, when you get surrounded, were almost impossible. Which reminds me, look at my life gauge for the entirety of this boss fight. I will basically get annihilated, but you can see exactly how much health each of those little fists have. That's only true for a couple of the characters, because they have like full life stat, but the palette swap of Burn has horrible life. He died so quickly. Yeah, I desperately need that whip back for this fight. We're about to fight, I think it's 6 Gazos at once. Horrible fight. Without the whip, it's impossible. Yeah, I began trying to use the length of the whip to help me. See, they catch you in little strings, and you're basically dead. I'm just very lucky I got that whip back. See, they started dying left and right because of the whip. And bam, made it through that boss fight. They actually gave me some health back. They gave me the entire first fist back. This is the entire next stage. You only stay on this boat. There's some weapons inside those barrels. Some pistols. And I got killed. That's 2 quarters. Okay, when you use a continue, you see the enemies fall, but there's actually supposed to be a really big animation that happens there. It's just you don't see it on all parts of the stage. So you'll see it later, because I die much more than that. And unfortunately during that I lost my whip. And yeah, when you throw grenades, you become invincible as he lays down. But I got hit on the way up by another grenade that went off. And that's what I mean, like, getting caught. Like, I just got caught against the wall. Just one fodder enemy did 2 HP to me. And here's Booster. Booster is frustrating. See, the tactic here is to try to keep some of those grenade tossers alive. So their grenades will get in the way and Booster will clothesline into them and it'll hurt them. But I couldn't stay away from them or Booster long enough. So I just gotta use another quarter. A one-on-one fight with Booster is tough. Because of that, he can just drill you in the face constantly. I'm trying to use the defensive attack right there. Pretty much the only way you can stay safe is to catch him with a punch and then start mashing defensive, because the defensive attack does not use HP in Growl. It does in every other beat 'em up, but in Growl it's just another attack. See, I'm trying to shoulder charge him and stay out of the way of his punch and his elbow, but he's too quick. So he takes 2 quarters from me. And that was the last hit. He'll give you like a baton thing right here, like a lead pipe. And if you don't kill him, he'll get back up and fight you again. But if you kill him, you save the elephant, you save yourself the trouble of fighting him again. The elephant is brutal. He just tramples. These people just explode. The elephant ain't having none of it. He seems almost like homing, like he's directed toward the enemies. Here they have a tank.
Oh no, he got me.
In comes the elephant. Tank destroyed. I like how it's just like, thanks. Like these park rangers can just like control safari animals. Pretty easy fight. And then starts one of the most BS parts of the game. The cave. If you can keep your whip through here, I would be very impressed. But I've already lost it. This part is not easy, because beat 'em ups were not really designed for platforming. Really, in my opinion, if those like stalactites are gonna fall and hit you, they should have made the stalactites that are in the background along the top there actually part of the foreground, so you could go behind them. It just spatially would make more sense, but that was horrible timing on that. Most of this will be horrible timing. There's really no good way to get through here. I barely made that jump. I think last time I played I fell through it. I just jumped straight in the lava. I don't understand why there's a cave full of like lava either. Well, actually it looks more like just super gross mud because there's bones in it. Bones can't stay in lava. Fire just slaps them. Okay, thank goodness that is over. And in comes a giant landslide. I forgot about the logs, I'll be honest. I just forgot they were there. I honestly don't know how to dodge them either. And then you catch one of your falcon friends. They take you over a very short ledge. And you get ambushed on a bridge. This is actually very close to the end of the game. We're gonna have, like, basically a boss rush. And then it'll be the final boss. The boss rush will happen right after this. Lose another quarter. The bridge just shook, but there's supposed to be more to it. This boss rush plus the final boss is what takes all my quarters. Mainly because I don't have a whip, but I don't understand like how you're gonna keep the whip through all of this. I get one right here, but I won't keep it. See, more Gazos. A whole whopping 5 of them. See, I already don't know where my whip is. That whip is too far off screen for me to reach it. So I just gotta mash out defense. Both that somersault kick and like the kind of like hurricane kick there, both of them are defensive attacks. It's just random which one you get. Okay, got rid of the Gazos, but in comes Booster, who picked up a boulder from off screen. I barely got hit by the edge of the frames on that. That's one quarter gone. That's the animation. A big spike ceiling, which makes no sense and has no reason being there, just falls. So like I said, a one-on-one fight with Booster, which is kind of what you have to do here. But normally you would have the whip, but I lost him behind the boulders. Just a one-on-one fight with Booster is just bad. I tried a shoulder charged again. Shoulder charge doesn't really work. Okay, got rid of him just almost by brute force. But then you have to fight 3 Nitro Men at the same time. I mean, you get a free rocket launcher, but the rocket launchers aren't much use here. The Nitro Men can also hit each other, which is good, but there's so many flailing fat guys that you're not gonna make it through here. They just killed me in like leapfrog drop kicks and then blew each other up. This is the final boss. That's like the Poacher King or whatever. He's like a hunchback penguin with like claws, wearing a pink top hat. I'm trying to shoulder tackle him, because the way you do shoulder tackle is to just tap forward twice. It's like trying to run in other beat 'em ups. It only works if you're like close enough to actually connect. Lost another life to hitting them and making them drop the tank. See, I'm trying to do the defensive action. You can't fight any of these bosses in just a one-on-one punch. It's like if you mix Vega with the penguin. It's pretty much what you get. It's this guy. There's no... I wish there was a consistent way in this game to make defensive action go off, but there's not. It's pretty tough to get it to work. That's the only consistent time you can hit him, is if he jumps over you, just turn around and start punching. because he's going to roll. But that's like one measly punch. It's not going to do much to him. Beats me down again. Another spike ceiling. That makes the sprites go crazy when that ceiling drops down. Okay, he leans down, so that means he's hurt. Leans down again. I catch on and start getting him. Messed up, but step on his toes once. Okay, he's down. But he drops a rocket launcher, which is going to be useless other than swinging it, because this gets gross. Normally he moves closer to the middle of the screen, but I kind of beat him on the very edge of the screen. All you have to do is stay back, and when he's done spinning, hit him. Like hit his head. See, but the rockets don't do anything. And he can launch his own rockets. So I lose a whole life to those rockets. And this fight is going to continue like this. I'm going to pick up the rocket launcher again. But it's going to continue like this for a long time. So let's just go ahead and speed that up. I'm going to lose another life during this, but that's just from messing up. It's just too boring. This final fight is nothing. See, I just start jumping into him. I just get frustrated with how slow it takes. So that's effectively using $3 to beat this game in the quarters. Just knock back a few more times. Do a few more measly punches. That easily took me a fourth of the total game time just fighting that boss. But that's the entirety of Growl. So all the animals come out and start doing like cool little dances. This game would probably be a lot better playing with like more players. Like you can get 4 on screen, but I think the emulation can only do 2. Or at least the one I have. But that's Growl. That's a beat 'em up about poachers. So thank you for tuning in to the Beat 'em Up Ball. We'll have more videos up soon.